because today was the day that all of the Talmidim were going to have an opportunity to present their projects. The Rebbe had given an assignment a few weeks ago. The Rebbe said, Talmidim, today I'm going to give you an assignment. And in a few weeks from now, it's going to be your job to depict, to show the halachos of one of the Lamed Tes Malachos from the first 11 Malachos. We've completed learning, said the Rebbe, from Zoreah all the way to Opheh. We've completed from Zoreah, from planting, all the way to Opheh. So the Rebbe said, so therefore, we're having a project. Everyone in the class is going to take one to do. I know there are more than 11 boys in the class. Some boys will have to do the same as a different boy. Some people will come out doing twice. But that's not a problem. And what we're going to do is everyone's going to have an opportunity to present it over a period of a day, or if we need more than a day. That day we're not going to learn Chumash, we're not going to learn Navi, we're going to focus the day on presenting our projects. Well, today was the day, and everyone in the class was excited. Everyone in the class had spent a lot of time, a lot of energy to put together a beautiful project of some sort. The rules were very, 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 very open to anything, any kind of project that presented the idea of the malacha that they were doing. It had to include some of the details, some of the halachos, and how it applied in practical life. And not only was the Rebbe in the classroom, and the boys were there with their projects. In the classroom, there was the menahel of the school. He was in the classroom also to see the projects. There was also a visiting Rebbe from a different city with his menahel to see the projects. And in the classroom, be able to watch and see all the projects, there was a table set up in front of the room. Each boy would walk up to the table with his thing. If it was a video, he would put his video piece, whether it's a DVD, thumb drive, a VCR, whatever it is, into the machine that was in the front of the classroom, and it would play on the screen behind him. And there was a stender, a podium that the boy could stand and describe and explain what's going on if there was a need for explanation. And everyone that whole morning, when they came to school before davening started, after davening started during Gemara time, which was cut short to make sure there was enough time for everyone to present their projects. And boy, oh boy, everyone was so excited. Because this was the completion of weeks of work. And everyone had kept it a big secret, so nobody knew what anybody else was doing. They knew the malacha, but nobody knew what anyone else was doing. And the Rebbe looked at his roll book, and the Rebbe said, Beryl, you had the malacha of Zoreah. What I would like to do is go through the malachos once, and then we'll go through the second people for the same malachos. So in other words, we'll do Beryl, you did Zoreah, we'll go through your project the first time. The next time when we finish through Ophel, we'll come back to Zoreah, and Avram, you have Zoreah also. So you'll do it the second time, okay? Good. So the Rebbe said this up, and Beryl came up to the front of the room, and he said, for Zoreah, I made a slideshow. You'll see. And he put in his thumb drive into the computer. He opened up the PowerPoint presentation, and it started. And there he was. That's me. I'm eating watermelon. In this slide, you see me chewing my watermelon. I know I'm not moving because it's a slide. It's just a picture. In this slide, you see me swallowing my watermelon. In this side, you see me spitting a pit out of the watermelon into my hand. In this slide, you see me taking another bite of the watermelon. In this slide, Rabbi, you have a question? Yes, Beryl. Does this have anything to do with the Malach of Zoreah? Yeah, I'm almost up to that part. In this slide, you see me chewing more watermelon. In this slide, you see me chewing watermelon outside my house. In this slide, you see me spitting my watermelon seeds outside my house in front of my yard into the ground. In this slide, you see me watering my watermelon seeds that I spit out. In this slide, you see me watering my watermelon seeds. In this slide, you see me watering my watermelon seeds. In this slide, you see me with a big watermelon. My watermelon seeds didn't grow, but I put one here to show you what could happen if they grew. Yes, Menahel? Rabbi Feingold? Why didn't your watermelon seeds grow? Well, because it's middle of the winter, and things don't grow in the middle of the winter. If you're not sure, maybe Rabbi Feingold, maybe you should come to our science class. We learned that in science class this week. Oh, thank you very much. Thank you, Beryl. And in this slide, you see me eating my watermelon. In this slide, you see me chewing my watermelon. And how many more slides are there, Beryl? Rebbe, there's about 44 slides. Are they all of you eating and chewing watermelon? Oh, yeah, well, actually, I put at the end, I cut the watermelon also. That's great, Beryl. Thank you so much. I'm very proud and very happy. Could I show you the slides? You know what? We have a certain amount of time, and I'm afraid we're going to run out of time. It'll only be another few minutes. All right. And here you see me chewing. Here you see me eating. Here you see me chewing, spitting out, watermelon. I spent a lot of money on watermelon for this project. I spent about $30 on watermelons because I kept buying them and hoping they would grow, and buying the seeds and stuff like that. And here you see my mother yelling at me. Oops, that wasn't supposed to be in here. And here you see, okay, well, anyway, that's a slideshow. Very good, Beryl. Shkoyach. Everyone give Beryl a big clap. Everyone clap for Beryl. Beautiful, beautiful presentation. Okay, now let's go on to the Malacha of Choresh. Yossi, Rabbi, for the Malacha of Choresh, my presentation, I can't bring it into the classroom. It's too big. For the Malacha of Choresh, you can't bring. So what should we do? If it's okay with Rabbi, is it possible that we go outside and I show it to everyone outside? I guess. Sure. Everyone, please line up. No pushing in line. No, you can't be first. No, you ran through. You go back in line. Okay. All right, everyone, come follow me. Very good. All right, where are we going, Beryl? Where are we going, Yossi? We're going outside the front door. All right, we're outside. Now what? Right over here. My presentation is, I called a farmer. His name is Farmer Jones, and Farmer Jones came today with his tractor, and it's right here in our field, in our baseball field. Wow! All the kids saw this big, gigantic tractor. The wheels of the tractor were taller than Rabbi Feingold. They were taller than the Rebbe. It was a massive tractor. And on the back of the tractor, you see those little metal things that spin around. Those help the tractor plow. And that's for the Malacha of Choresh, because Choresh is plowing, turning over the soil in order to be able to plant. And so he's going to show us how to do Choresh. I already spoke to Rabbi Feingold, and Rabbi Feingold permitted me to plow up some of the field, not the baseball field, because that we can't do, but some of the field near the baseball field, because anyway, it needs to be replanted for grass. And the Farmer Jones has offered that he's going to take us in groups of 5 in the tractor, and we're going to be allowed to lower the plow into the ground while we plow. So we're all going to practice and show the malach of plowing. All the kids are like, oh, it's so cool. This is the best project. Yossi, you're the best. Oh, man. And all the kids are climbing in, and everyone's doing it. And Sammy gets his turn, and the farmer said, okay, now lower the thing. Okay, great. Now pick it up. Okay, now that you picked it up. Hey, you didn't pick it up. Oh, yeah, I'm sorry. I'm plowing the cement. Oh, you're going to ruin my blades. Sorry, sir. I didn't realize. And anyway, they did it. They were out there all talking, schmoozing away. They were yelling and screaming. They were like so excited. Of course, the Banal was there taking pictures. All the pictures. Everyone's like, well, finally, after everyone had a turn, the Rebbe, Rabbi Sai, please everyone get in line. Not again. If I see Avram, if I see you run into the line one more time, to front of the line, the next time we get in line, you're not going to get in line. You're going to have to wait all the way in the back, and you're not going to come with us. Okay. Please line up quietly, nicely, very good. Don't push over there. No shoving in line. Good. Now, very good. That was a beautiful, beautiful presentation, Yossi. I'm so impressed. Okay, let's go back inside to our class. Sit down in our classroom. Okay, let's see. Kotzer. Next is harvesting. Kotzer. How about Shragi? Do you have a thing on Kotzer? Yes, Rabbi. Okay, please come to the front. For Kotzer, I did a report on Kotzer. Kotzer is harvesting. In order to have food, you have to harvest it. So first you plant it, then you plow it. And harvesting requires many pieces of equipment. In modern day farming, the farmer harvests and he reads a long report. Page after page after page after page. And all the kids in the class are sitting there like this. Rabbi Feingold is sitting there like this. And the Rebbe is sitting there like this. And then Shragi says, so therefore the malacha of kotza is a very serious malacha, and on Shabbos, if you cut things off the ground, if you climb a tree or do anything else, it's a big avera. And the punishment for that is to get killed. So if you don't want to be killed, don't do kotzer. The end. Very good, Shragi. Good report. Shkach. Everyone give Shragi a big round of applause. Baruch Hashem. Baruch Hashem. Or Feingold's like, oh yeah, Baruch Hashem, we ended. I mean, Baruch Hashem, Baruch Hashem. Yeah, good job. What's his name again? Shragi. Whoa, that was a report, all right. How many pages was that, Shragi? It was 36 pages. Oh, 36. I probably have to watch Nuggelwasser. Anyway, okay. I would like to call upon Naftali. Naftali, you are doing the malacha of ma'amer, of gathering. Naftali came to the front with a big, gigantic box. He took off the top of the box, and inside was a diorama. It had a big tree. Obviously, it wasn't a real tree. It was a piece of a tree that he put inside, and it was made with cherries. He attached real cherries onto the tree, and around the bottom of the tree there were cherries on the ground, and there were buckets, little buckets made with wood to look like baskets with little cherries inside. And he said, this is a diorama of ma'amer. Here we have a tree with cherries underneath, and the person put them in the baskets. The rule is you're not allowed to gather them on Shabbos from what grows from the ground. You're not allowed to put in their baskets. And if you do, it's an avera. That was a beautiful, beautiful, well done. It's so lifelike size, not life size, but lifelike people doing the work. It was incredible artwork. And everyone was like, oh, wow. Of course, the Manal has his camera out there.
I bet he's sleeping.
Right? No, not for this. And very good. Excellent. Thank you so much. That was a good thing. So you took a very short time. That was great. Okay, next malacha we have is Dush. We have for Dush, who's doing Dush? Oh, Yitzi, you're doing Dush. Great. What in the world is that? A bag of oranges? Rabbi, for the malacha of Dush, I decided that Dush, the main malacha of Dush, is squeezing fruit and to get juice. So I'm giving out to everybody an orange, and everyone can have orange juice. Oh, that's a great idea. It's beautiful. Oh, beautiful. It's a good thing because we're all thirsty. We just were outside. We were plowing the field. We're all hot and sweaty from our hard work outside, and so now oh, great. So refreshing, delicious orange juice. Baruch Hashem. Okay. And this also is a fast one. Great, we're doing great. All right, who's up next for Zorah? Let's see, who do we have here? Zorah. Oh, Shmuley. You're doing Zorah? Winnowing? Yeah, Rabbi. I'm going to give everyone a peanut, and everyone should take the peanut. And no, not yet. This is Shmuley. Shmuel. And everyone's going to do Zorah with the peanut. Here, so everyone take your peanut. Great. Now crush it in your hand. Good. Rabbi Feingold, just crush it a little bit more. Great. Now, you see how that has that shell on the peanut? Now, smush that around your finger. And my father told me that's called being molel. Being molel the nut. Molel is the word for when you do in your fingers like this. And now, hold it up very high. And this is the fun part, okay? Ready? Rabbi, I hope Rabbi doesn't mind. Rabbi, you and Rabbi Feingold could be partners. Everyone should pick a partner. Very good. Rabbi and Rabbi Feingold, if Rabbi and Rabbi Feingold don't want, they don't have to do it because I don't want it to be chusvidik. I'll show you in a minute. Okay, everyone turn to your partner. Great. Lift your hand up to your mouth. Great. Now blow as hard as you can. And when they did that, all the pieces of the peanut shell flew off their hand into the face of their partner, and they were left in their hand with the peanuts themselves. Anyway, that was just for fun. Really, that has nothing to do with the malach of Zorah. The Zorah part is just the blowing part. And now you can eat your peanuts. Don't forget to make kohadama. You might want to make another batch of orange juice because everyone's going to be thirsty again. Very cute idea. Very cute, said the Rebbe. Okay, we're up to the malacha of borer. Boy, we're going to get a whole meal here. We have orange juice. We have peanuts. What else are we going to have? Let's see. Borer. Who's doing borer? Oh. Yeah, Elchanan, you're doing borer? No, I don't mean you're doing borer on Shabbos, right? I mean doing the malacha of borer. Oh, great. Come on. Yeah. What do you have there, Elchanan? Well, Rebbe, I worked really, really hard at my project for many, many weeks. I worked really hard, and so this is my project. Here you have a big bowl of jelly beans. Okay. It was very hard to get them all mixed together. Why? Why was it hard to get them mixed together? Well, because I wanted to make sure that it was the right colors. And first I bought red, green, and yellow, and I realized that red, green, and yellow don't look nice together. So then I did purple, orange, and pink, and my mother thought that was too girly. So then I did a little bit of black. But anyway, finally, after a lot of time and energy and asking lots of advice from lots of different people, I even went down to some local artists to ask them which colors were the best. And we have a bowl of jelly beans. And my project is I'm going to choose out the jelly beans that I don't like first to show you how you're not supposed to do borer. And then I'm going to let people come and choose the jelly beans they do want to show how you could do borer. Okay, what jelly beans don't you like? And Elchanan picked out all the green jelly beans. These are the ones I don't like. Now, okay, everyone can come pick what they do like. You can pick 3 jelly beans you do like. And every kid came and picked jelly beans. It was fun. It was a great project. They were so excited. And they learned, or they practiced what they learned. All right, Rebbe said, beautiful. So boy, oh boy, are we finished. We're full in our stomachs. We've had orange juice. We had a time to drive a tractor. You know, it was like, cool, it's been a good day. Well, we have time before recess for one more project. Who are we up to? Tochen grinding. Sammy. Well, actually, do we have time before recess for your project, Sammy? How long do you think your project's going to be? Well, it's a video. How long is the video? A few minutes. All right, well, we probably go out a little bit late to recess. We'll just come in a little bit later. Okay, Sammy, you're doing the malacha, the video of grinding. Please come and turn it on for us. Sammy came to the front of the room. He put in the slit in the video, and he said, before I play the video, I just want to review a few halachas about grinding so you understand what's happening. Grinding is something you're not allowed to do on Shabbos. You're not allowed to grind on Shabbos. Grinding means taking something and chopping it into really small pieces. When you grind something on Shabbos, then you're chopping it into really small pieces, and that's an Aveira. And you're allowed to grind things that don't grow from the ground. For example, you can grind your teeth, and you can grind things that don't grow from the ground. Eggs. You can grind eggs. Now, the thing is like this. If you do want to grind something that grows to the ground, you can also do that, but you have to do it with a shinoi. A shinoi is doing something differently. You know, like some people in this class, they write differently. Instead of writing with their right hand, they write with their left hand. Or sometimes there are people who do things differently, like instead of doing projects normally, they do them weirdly. And, different people. So anyway, if you do it differently, for example, if you use the back of a spoon or a back of a knife to grind something or to chop something, that's considered doing it differently. Another example of differently is if you And another thing is, there's no problem of grinding something that was already ground. So I'm going to show you some of these things. My video is about what is mutter, what is allowed. Okay, here, I'm going to turn it on. Could you get the lights, please? Thank you very much. Thank you, Rabbi Feingold. Okay, here the video goes. And the video started playing. It started with the words, Tochen, grinding. And you heard Sammy's voice as you see a picture of a grinder. Tochen is the malacha of grinding. This is a grinder. You're not allowed to use one on Shabbos. I don't know how you grind teeth in it, but my mother talks about some people who grind their teeth when they sleep. I don't know if they put the teeth in and turn the knobs. I'm not sure. But either way, this is a grinder, and we're going to learn about the way it's mutter to use a grinder, maybe theoretically, on Shabbos. Okay. And Sammy continued talking on the video. We go into the refrigerator and we open it up. Now, in the refrigerator, we find a big piece of meat. This piece of meat is called roast beef. It's called roast beef because it comes from a cow, and a cow is called beef. It's called roast beef because I'm not sure. And we're going to make roast beef, and we're going to take roast beef. Roast beef does not grow from the ground. Roast beef does not grow from the ground. It does not grow from a tree. Roast beef was made by a person. I'm not sure how they made it, but they made it. So it's not a problem of grinding roast beef. Therefore, we can take the roast beef on Shabbos and put it into this grinder and turn the grinder on. Oops, I forgot. It's electric. You're not allowed to use an electric grinder on Shabbos. Maybe you're not even allowed to use a regular grinder on Shabbos. I'm not sure. I forgot to ask. But if you're allowed to, either way, you're allowed to grind this up. And so here we're going to grind the roast beef. Okay, we put it in and turn it on. Pretend it's not electric. And now the grinder starts to grind the meat. And all you see is the meat going into the grinder and the meat shooting all over the kitchen. Usually when you grind something in a grinder, you make sure to catch things. It's not supposed to shoot all over the kitchen. I forgot to attach the piece that's making it shoot all over the kitchen. But I don't want to have to film this again. So anyway, here we're grinding roast beef. And in the background you see Sammy's mother come in. And Sammy's mother says, "Sammy, what's going on here? What's flying all over my kitchen?" That's my mother. My mother is yelling at me. When your mother yells at you and you're doing something wrong, just say, "Oh, I'm so sorry I did something wrong." Because otherwise she might grind you on Shabbos because you're doing, Ma, I'm doing a project for school. With my grinder? Yes, I'm grinding meat. You're grinding meat? What, all over my kitchen? Yes, and I'm just showing it's permissible to do it. And if you're allowed to do it, that means it's not an Aveira. That means you can't yell at me because I didn't do an Aveira. Sammy, where'd you get that meat? I got it from the refrigerator, Ma. You got this meat from the refrigerator? Was this the big roast on the bottom of the refrigerator? Yes, it was, Ma. That roast is supposed to be for supper, for the Friday night supper that we're having, that we invited those families from next door over. You took my Shabbos meat and you ground it up all over. Ma, the video's on. I don't want anyone seeing me get in trouble with the video on. So, well, you better go turn it off right away. Sammy says as the video fades to black. So anyway, that's the first scene of grinding meat you're allowed to do on Shabbos. The next scene you'll see, and the video continues, and Sammy talks. And you see Sammy is standing there on top, standing on a chair. In the video, you see Sammy standing on a chair. In front of him is a table. On the table is a big piece of a crock pot, the thing that you make cholent in. And on a plate, next to the crock pot is a pile of potatoes. On a plate is a pile of potatoes. And Sammy's holding in his hands by his feet his little baby brother's about a little over a year old. And Sammy's holding him by his feet. And Sammy says, the next thing you're allowed to do when you make to grind on Shabbos, the next thing you're allowed to do on Shabbos is you're allowed to grind things that grow from the ground with a shinoi. This is potatoes. Now, you're allowed to use the back of your baby or his head, and that's a shinoi. You could use a spoon too, but it's not as exciting. And so Sammy takes the baby and starts pushing his head into the potatoes. And of course, the baby's laughing and thinks it's a big joke and having a lot of fun and messing with the potatoes, and his hair is getting all potatoey. So we are grinding potatoes, but we're allowed to do this on Shabbos because it's a shinoi. And when you use a shinoi, it's permissible. And Sammy's father comes in. Sammy, what are you doing to the baby? I'm giving him some mashed potatoes. Mashed potatoes? How are you feeding him? Through his hair. It's going to go through his head, and then the video goes black. I didn't want you to see the rest of what happened that evening. Anyway, moving on to the next thing. The next thing is also a shinoi. Here it goes. Chaim? Yes, Sammy, the video continues. Chaim, could you please, is it possible, please, would you mind, please, sitting down? Where? At the dining room table, on the chair that I'm going to point out. Why? Just would you mind sitting down? I just need somebody to sit down on the chair because I'm doing a project for school, and I just need somebody to sit down on the chair. I guess. What's this project about? It's just reviewing Hilchos Shabbos and stuff. Okay. Okay. 1 second. So wait 1 second. I'm going to run to the dining room, set up my video machine, and run back. Okay? Can I come with you? Yeah, if you want. Yeah, fine. So his brother comes in. Chaim comes in. You see Chaim coming in with Sammy. Sammy sets up his video machine, and Sammy walks over to a chair and says to Chaim, "Okay, come, sit down on the chair. It's kind of hard to get in. It's kind of squishy. I'll move it out a little bit." Okay, great. And Chaim stands next to the chair, and Sammy says, "Okay, when I count to 3, I want you to sit down. Okay? What's this got to do with Hilchos Shabbos? You'll see in a second. 1, 2, 3." And Chaim sits down. What is that? And he stands up and looks at the chair. On the chair is something. What in the world is that? And he puts his hand on it. Ew! Banana! And he puts his hands on his pants, and he feels, ew! Banana! Yeah, you were showing how you're allowed to mash a banana for a baby on Shabbos. I had to have you sit on the banana. And this is mutter for 2 reasons. Number 1, because it's a shinoi. It's an unusual way to mash a banana for the baby. And number 2 is because it's a davar she'eino miskavein. It's because when you were sitting on the banana, you did not intend to do the malacha of mushing it and doing malacha of tochen. So therefore, it's permissible. And then you see Chaim chase Sammy around the table, and Sammy runs past the video machine, and that's all you see. And then the video turns black again. And the last thing we're going to learn about the mutter way to do Tochen, and everyone in the class, meanwhile, in this case, is watching like this. Rabbi Feingold's like, the Rebbe is like this.
The other guys.
One eye open, try to see the video. And one last thing, here. Now, here we go. There it goes. I have here a piece of bread. I have here the piece of bread, and I have my mouth. You're allowed to do grinding by grinding something that's already been grounded. So I was grounded after I made Chaim sit on the banana, and I hung the baby by his feet. So I was grounded. So therefore, I'm allowed to grind things because I was already grounded. So you're allowed to grind things, and I'm grinding something that was already grounded also because this bread was already grounded because they already ground it up to make it into flour. And so now I'm going to grind things, and I'm going to actually employ, and I'm going to grind I'm a grounded person who's going to grind something that was grounded already with a shinoi so that it's for sure mutter. And here we go. And you see Sammy take this piece of bread and open his mouth. This is my mouth. These are called teeth. Teeth grind things. Watch. And he eats the bread. Spits it in a bag. Now this bread is grounded. And now I'm going to be a very big Baal Chesed with my grounded bread. And Sammy goes down the steps. He has somebody following him with a video machine, you don't know who. And he goes down the steps and he goes over to a couple houses down. We are standing outside the house of Mr. Rachamim Chapushka. Mr. Rachamim Chapushka is the anything but Rachamim. He is the meanest man in town. Mr. Rachamim Chapushka got mad at me the other day because I was in his garden looking for my baseball. Unfortunately, he was mad at me. I'm not sure why. He said it had something to do with stepping on his flowers, and I didn't see any flowers. But anyway, he's a really mean person, and I'm going to be very nice to Mr. Chapushka. I'm going to give him something very, very special. And he rings the doorbell. Mr. Chapushka answers the door. What you want? I would like to give you a special thing. We're doing a project for school, and we learned that you're allowed to grind things that are already ground. So I would like to give you some grounded stuff that was already grinded by a shinui, by somebody who was grounded. What you talking about? It doesn't matter. Would you like it? Maybe. It's a very special dish. Here it is. And he gave him the bag of grounded bread. And he opens the bag, Mr. Chapushka, and he says, "What's this? It's disgusting. This is gross. What you giving me? You giving me gross stuff?" It's actually very not gross because, you see, it's mutter to eat. It's a very, very mutter. It's very holy stuff because it's a Shabbos way of doing something. And so it must be very good. And then you see Mr. Chapushka chasing him and Sammy running away, the camera holder running away. And then you see a lot of the ground and a lot of the ceiling, and a lot of the sides, a lot of the trees as they run away. And then you see Sammy come back in front of the video. And so now that was the Malacha of Tochen. Before I finish my video, I would like you to come and I would like to teach you one last thing relating to the Malacha of Tochen. And actually it doesn't really relate to Tochen exactly. It really relates to the... well, yes. Okay, here we go. Come please into my basement. Very good, excellent. Let's set up the video right here. And you see Sammy sitting down by a table. And he takes a guitar from the side of the table and holds the guitar in his hands, right? Like any guitarist holds their guitar. I'm not a guitarist, I don't know. And he takes the guitar and he strums. We're going to learn a little bit about Tochen. And he strums the video. Tochen is grinding. Wrong song. Sorry, wrong song. 1 second. What was it again? Tochen is grinding, and he's playing his guitar. Tochen is grinding with a shinoi, it's mutter. Oh, you could do it again and again. Tochen is grinding with a shinoi, it's mutter. Oh, you can do it again and again. Tochen is grinding, use your baby brother or your older brother to mash the banana. Tochen is grinding with a shinoi, is mutter. Mutter, mutter, with a shinoi, it's mutter. And then this thing goes black. And Sammy says, and that's my presentation. And his Rebbe's look, wow, gosh, that was the most original presentation I've ever seen. And the entire class starts to cheer. And Rabbi Feingold says, Sammy, can I ask one question? Yes, Rabbi Feingold.
Did your parents ever unground you?
Actually, I told them you can't ground something that's already ground, right? Well, you see, 3 weeks ago, I was already grounded for something else. So, since I was already grounded 3 weeks ago, it didn't help me to ground me the second time because I was already grounded, right? So I can't, you can't grind something that's already grounded. So I was already grounded from before. So that grounding doesn't mean anything. So the first grounding meant something, and the first grounding expired, so then I'm not grounded anymore.
Okay. What about your baby brother?
Oh yeah, we had a lot of fun together. Gosh, we tried a lot of different ways to try to do Tochen in a shinoi. He tried stepping on them with his feet. We felt his head was a better way to do it because that's more like your back than the back of the spoon. Then.
And one other question.
Yes, Sammy. Yes, Rabbi Feingold. Oops, sorry, wrong person. Yes, Rabbi Feingold.
I was just wondering. Did your parents ever see this video?
Actually, they didn't.
Do you want them to see it?
Actually, I don't.
Oh, because remember, everyone's projects are going to be a little bit on display at the parent-teacher conferences next week.
Yeah, well, actually, not mine.
Well, I don't know. Everyone else is going to be on this.
I don't think everyone else. The big tractor's not going to be here, is it?
Oh, actually, it is.
Everyone's not going to be making orange juice.
Actually, the parents are going to have an opportunity to make orange juice.
They're not going to watch my Tochen video.
Oh, why not?
Because I'm going to erase the tape.
Well, maybe you want to fix it up for next week.
I got a better idea. How about I just make sure my parents don't come to parent-teacher conferences?
I don't know how you're going to do that.
I do. I'm going to put some of the mashed potatoes from the cholent into their gas tank, and they won't be able to drive anywhere.
They probably get pretty mad at you.
Well, if they come to parent-teacher conferences, even if my video weren't here, they'd be mad at me too.
Actually, I don't think so. I think your parents would be very proud of you.
Well, maybe they would be. But just then, the intercom button came in. Rabbi Feingold?
Oh, yes?
Is it possible for you to come to the office? We have a little bit of an issue.
What's the problem?
Some boys in the older grade have been putting bananas on the chairs of other boys, and the Rebbe is a little bit upset, and they said that they're allowed to because it's a shinoi from Tochen, and we have one of the boys here that's who seems to be the instigator.
Is his first initial C?
I don't know how to answer that. I'm not sure if it's Lashon Hara.
It's okay. We know everyone in this room. Oh boy. I don't know if it's Lashon either. That's a good question. And Rabbi Feingold runs down the hall, and he sees sitting in his office is Chaim. And Rabbi Feingold says, "What are you doing here, young man?"
Well, my Rebbe told me to come.
I'm surprised at you.
Well, Sammy always does these things and doesn't get in trouble. So I thought, and poor Chaim, he wasn't going to be putting banana peels. You see, Chaim wasn't grounded before that day. So when his parents grounded him for not behaving properly in school, he had to stay there and be grounded. And that's the end of today's story.